Better sit my sorry old ass down here. My name is Arthur Belkind, and I'm so excited to be here tonight. Actually, I'm excited to be anywhere tonight. I want to start by thanking you guys for coming out. Your support's incredibly important to all of us. Let me be honest. It's a hell of a lot more important to me. I mean, take a look. I'm an old man. My timeline for success is like this. I'm hoping you work with me. Here's the plan. I skip the jokes, you go right to the laughter, and I get the fuck out of here and go home to bed where I belong. At my age, I should be doing lie down, not stand up. If anyone has a chance of dying up here tonight, you're looking at me. I'm so old, I remember when the Dead Sea was sick. I remember rainbows when they were black and white. And how's this? I can remember Preparation A. I've seen Halley's Comet 27 times. And I can remember when the Amish were technologically advanced. But one of the worst parts about getting old, of course, is your health. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to need parts. I could use a hip, I could use a knee, and the worst part about getting old is I'd outlive my penis. And you can't get away from it. Every 30 seconds there's an ad on television about erectile dysfunction. Let me ask you, and be honest guys, is there one man in this audience who's going to call your doctor if you have an erection that lasts for 4 hours? Are you fucking kidding me? I would call every woman I've ever known in my life. If I even reached for the phone, my wife would cut my balls off like that. Just done, boom. And it doesn't end there. I go online, and every 30 seconds I'm getting an advertisement about enhancement and enlargement. I say to my friends, do you guys get these? No. And I guess I thought out loud. I wonder why I get them. And one of them suggested maybe because I watch porn all day and I have a small dick. Then it started to make sense. So I sent away from one of these things, not thinking anything was going to happen. I get it, I tried it, and it worked. It was a magnifying glass. But let me tell you, don't take it and use it outside. It's not a good thing. Then they mentioned I came from the nursing home. You sit around as old people, that's all there are. And the old men are sitting there, oh, my prostate's the size of a baseball. That's nothing, mine's the size of a grapefruit. Oh, that's nothing, mine's the size of a watermelon. They're disgusting. The way I like to put it is when I sit on the toilet, my balls become tea bags.
I don't have to drink my tea anymore.
No tea? Could you bring her another tea, please, without a tea bag? Then I'm getting a little bit nervous. Next week I have to go for my physical, and my doctor is very thorough. So my wife could see that I was a little tense. She said, what's the matter? I said, I got to go for my physical. She said, what's wrong? I said, the doctor wants me to bring a stool sample, a urine sample, a semen sample. She said, what's the problem? Just bring a pair of your underwear. It doesn't stop there. I go to the dentist and he tells me I have to have some wisdom teeth put in. I'm so old, I can actually remember when the Congress did something. That was a long time ago. Those assholes have done nothing for years. And I'm not taking sides, it's both sides, it doesn't matter. But thank God the states have tried to do something. Some of them passed laws legalizing marijuana. Controversial. Some passed laws legalizing gay marriage. Controversial, especially with the religious right. But that's the part I don't understand. If they read their Bibles, in Leviticus it clearly states, if a man layeth with another man, they shall be stoned. They wouldn't have gotten that in Peoria. The trouble, we don't read the Bible enough. The first mention of PMS is in the Bible. And Mary rode Joseph's ass all the way to Bethlehem. jumping back to being gay for a minute, you know, a lot of people think that being gay is a matter of choice, and I happen not to agree with that. But if they're right, if it is a matter of choice, so's being an asshole, and thousands of them get married every day. And with regard to marijuana, I did inhale. The first time was about 60 years ago. Let me put it to you this way. I have so much THC in my system, when I make love with my wife, she's violating the possession laws of all 50 states. You guys are okay. You know, I mentioned at the nursing home last night I had TV privileges. As I'm scrolling through, I find The Wizard of Oz. That's one of my favorite movies, like Shawshank Redemption, Love Actually, and The Wizard of Oz. So I'm watching the movie, and I couldn't help but thinking, if Dorothy were alive today and encountered men that didn't have brains or hearts or balls, she wouldn't be in Oz, she'd be right in the middle of the fucking halls of Congress. You know, I don't mean to get too political, but you know, everything is getting so crazy, the debates are coming up and everything. And, you know, Arizona is actually getting recognized as a place that matters. And a couple of weeks ago, Al Sharpton was actually here, the Reverend Al. Who the fuck is this guy? He's everywhere, you know. So I heard he was going to be doing a little sermon at a church on the south side. So I go over there, I walk in, I sit down. I'm not there 30 seconds. He comes over, puts his hand on my leg, and he goes, "By the will of Jesus Christ and by the will of God Almighty, you will walk today." Reverend Al, I'm not paralyzed. He says, "Have faith, you will walk today." Didn't want to argue with him. I stayed, I listened to his sermon. It was actually excellent. It was eloquent. I loved it. I get up, I go outside, and lo and behold, someone stole my fucking car. And there's Reverend Al in the doorway. You will walk today. I'm so old, I can actually remember when flying was fun. You know, it used to be, you'd go to the airport, you'd wear a tie and a jacket, you'd go with your family, you'd have a meal, they'd walk you to the gate, the people on the other end would meet you there. Everybody had a travel agent that did everything for you. All the flight attendants were women. I think that they still are, but it's just a little harder to tell. But now you gotta go do your due diligence. You go online, you research forever, you find a ticket, you buy it, and you think you're done. And all of a sudden, the fucking seat chart pops up. And for an extra $80, you can have a red-coated seat. That's the one that your whole ass fits in. But for $40, you get a blue-coated seat, which is for your legs, and for $20, it's the white-coated seat, which I think is the toilet. So when I flew with the Wright brothers, they didn't care where I sat. So now you get to the airport, and the first thing that happens is somebody orders you to take off your shoes and your jacket and your hat and empty your pockets, take out your computer, and that's a thief in the parking lot. But the thing that bothers me the most about that is everybody in the free world has to take off their shoes because of that moron shoe bomber. Why couldn't he have been a bra bomber? I mean, just think of it. It would have made going through security so much better instead of looking at someone's dirty face. Oh, it's 36C. I'll take the next plane. I'm not in a rush. It just would make it so much easier. And then, of course, we have to deal with TSA. These are the most inept human beings on the face of the earth. Am I right? And here, the scary part is, there's absolutely nothing to do that they can get better. Once you're inept, you can't become apt. We have words like that in the language. You've all been disgruntled, right? Ever been gruntled? I've been overwhelmed. I've been underwhelmed. Ever been whelmed? I think I was at a concert in the 70s, but I digress. Getting back to our friends at TSA, a couple of them here in Phoenix were cited so many times for fondling and groping that they were just transferred to another parish. One of the positive things about flying here, I think we have Southwest Airlines. You guys like Southwest? They're really, one of the best things is you don't have to worry, they don't give you boarding cards, so everybody, 24 hours before you get online, you go in 24 hours to the second, you try to get your A, B, C. Don't have to do that ever again. What I'm going to tell you is true. All you have to do is when you get to the airport, you go up to the counter and tell them that you have to medically pre-board. And because of HIPAA, they're not allowed to ask you why. This is true. So I embarrassed the fuck out of my family. I limp on the plane with the people with the wheelchairs and everything. I get on the plane, I sit down in the first or second row. I reach in front of me, I get an air sick bag out. I open it up and hold it under my mouth and watch the people get on. Nobody will sit next to me. I've had people get off the plane and take another flight rather than sit next to me. Sure. And if somebody does sit next to you, of course, the old story on the airline is everybody wants to tell you their life story, right? So I just look at them and go, "You can see me?" And that pretty well shuts them up. One time I did have a lady, very elegant. Before we take off, she must have seen me go like this, and she goes, "Joy, $250 an ounce." We get up, we take off. About an hour later, I see her going like this. And I go, "Broccoli, 69 cents a pound." One of the good things about getting old, though, you guys are great. Thank you, Jan's World shirts, you got it. One of the great things about getting old, though, is you have some time on your hands. And I've been using that time to try to find answers to questions I've been asking over my lifetime. And I thought maybe I'd share some of them with you. If you choke a Smurf, what color do they turn? Never been able. Do you think the guy that invented the vibrator heard a voice that said, "If you build it, they will come"? A little bit more vibrator than Smurf, I see where we have to head. Everybody knows that you have to have big boobs to work at Hooters. Do you have to have one leg to work at IHOP? And ladies, don't you think it's about time that there was a Hooter for ladies where the men were servers? Maybe we could call it Pythons, or... It's a Christian idea. It's going to get a little deeper now. Do you think it's rude for deaf people to sign with their mouths full? If a deaf person goes to court, is it still called a hearing? Now we're going to get a little bit darker. How the fuck do blind people know when to stop wiping? Got two more for you, and then you'll be rid of me. I actually found answers to these. I always wondered what the HOV meant. Every city has an HOV name. Well, I did some investigating, and it means high occupancy vehicle. Well, that just raised more questions. How high do you have to be? What do you have to be high on? Does everyone in the vehicle have to be high? And you need the second person to light the pipe? And finally, something I wondered about for many, many years, I wonder what happens to the foreskins after men are circumcised. I'm sure you've all wondered about it. I know we talk about it around the breakfast table. And I finally found out. There are seminaries all around the country where they send the foreskins, they plant them, they water them, they nurture them, and when they grow up, they become politicians. Thank you so much. You guys have been great. Thanks for coming.
Keep it comfort, Arthur Belkind. I'll wait. All right.